Hi, everybody. Welcome to Senior Momentum. Today, as my guest, I have Tina Hyatt of Water Down In-Home Bathing Services. Hi, Tina. How are you?
I'm very well, Sean. How are you today?
I'm doing incredibly well. We were discussing before we started that I just got back from my holiday. I was visiting my family, and it was a great time. I was really glad to see them. I was able to spend 2 months, so that was great.
Wow.
Mm,
Lucky them.
yeah. you're, you're a charmer. How are you? And what about you? How has your summer been going?
Well, it's been a very good summer. It
Mhm.
was at, at the beginning of the pandemic. It was a little bit tough, of course, as all businesses were having a challenge. And being a home care nurse, a lot of my senior clients' families canceled service, of course,
Yeah.
understandably so, until we knew more about the illness
Yes.
and
Yeah.
inoculations.
Yeah. So I appreciate. So before we get into that, actually, let's take a step back.
Sure.
Tell me about your business. Tell me about your services that you offer to people.
Oh,
I'm really excited to ask you about it because I think it's an important thing that people could definitely use more information on.
yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm a licensed practical nurse, and I have been for 35 years.
Hmm.
And I worked in the hospital for 22 years, and then decided to strike out on my own and start a home care business, and specifically bathing. That was something that I really noticed in the facilities when I worked there. Was that, gee, if mom could have had bathing services, she could have stayed home a lot longer. Now this is years back when I first was in nursing. So I've watched it progress over the years, and decided that this is where I was going to go. I love my service. It is so essential, not only for the client receiving the shower, but for the family. Giving them that peace of mind that their loved one is getting the care that they need, and they don't have to do it. That's a
Hmm.
real big one too. Is a lot of family members don't want to have to be doing mom or dad's personal care. So it's a wonderful service. My seniors, the people that I serve in the community, are seniors. Uh, I also serve people in the community who have had surgery, hips, knees, shoulders, arms, and are unable to help themselves for showering. So it's a very diverse. I've also worked with people in palliative care who are living at home and are wanting an extra bed bath a week or a shower a week that they're able to do. So it's a wide variety of folks that I'm seeing, and that's what
Hmm.
makes it so special. I have been bathing folks for 35 years. I started nursing when I started nursing. That was part of our job, was to shower folks, and so it's just been a really natural progression of me for me to be able to do it in the community, and I love doing it. I think that's the key for me, is that I have a love and a passion for it. I always have, and so it's a fun day's work. I really enjoy meeting the people. Yeah, so my services are giving a person a shower, a bed bath, whatever required. I make sure that the bathroom is tidied when I'm finished. They get a shave. Ladies, if you want your legs shaved, I'm always there to do that. And all those things, lotions, and I also, one of the things that I do is, I strip the bedding and put clean sheets on your bed. And that's something that we did in the hospital. When it was a shower day, you got clean sheets on your bed. And so that's just something that I have integrated into a part of my service that I feel is really important and essential.
Hmm. Well, and there's a lot in there. I'm curious about some of the details because for a lot of us that are not having any difficulty kind of in the area of personal care or showering or anything. Some people shower once a day, twice a day. Maybe some people if they go to a pool or something or a gym, maybe they shower as many as 3 times a day.
Right.
How often do you actually like? How often does a client have you come in to do this? And then when you're there, I'm just kind of curious, what's it actually like? Like, how long does it take? About a half an hour or an hour sometimes? sometimes, or
Yeah.
what's? I'm just kind of curious about some of the details, because for people that maybe are unfamiliar with this, as I'm sure a lot of people are, I think that kind of knowing a little bit more about, the tangible, what it's actually like would potentially be helpful. So that's why I'm
Right.
asking.
Yeah. Well, when I come into your house, the first thing I'm going to do is before, we set up appointments, is I'm going to come in and have an initial visit with you and just say hi. A lot of people, a lot of the clients that I have dementia.
Hmm.
And so are resistive or can be paranoid. And that's just a part of the disease process. So what I like to do is have a visit with the family, with the client, and so that they can see that I'm there and I'm non-threatening. And usually, if I'm able, I'll stay for a cup of tea. And then what I'll do, what I like to do is I like to get up and I start looking at the family photos, and then I start a relationship with the client. We talk about who's in the photo, family members. So I'm creating a relationship right from the get-go by asking personal questions, and that takes the fear out of it, and they get to know who I am. So and at that point, I want to make sure that you've got everything that they have everything they need in order for me to do the job properly. Have they got a raised toilet seat if they need one? Have they got a mat on the bathroom floor? Have they got aids to help them getting in and out of the tub? Have they got a bath chair? Is it a safe environment? So those are the things that I'm looking for before I even start working with the client to ensure everything's in place.
Okay. Interesting question. Do you bring anything? Do you bring, soaps or scrubs or anything like that, or is everything should be at the house or
Everything
wherever
is
you
at
go?
everything is usually at the house. People have their own things that they like. Although, if a family member isn't able to get out and get those supplies, I will certainly get them for them.
Hmm.
Not a problem. If it's something that I can get to the store and say, gee, you need a grab bar, or I know exactly what you need. May I purchase that? I'll get that for you because I know exactly what you need for that situation and that area. So, I'll certainly go ahead and do that. So yeah, so that's what I do. So and then when I go in and do the shower, it usually takes no longer than half an hour to do the shower. But what I
Hmm.
like to do, of course, I clean up the bathroom, change the bedding, and then time permitting, I'll sit and have a little visit with them to end it up,
Yeah.
so that there's that, it's an hour service. So I like to try to fill in that hour and spend some time with them afterwards. Sometimes it's sitting with the family members and talking to them. That's just as important,
Hmm.
because sometimes they're just alone, husband and wife, nobody else can come around. And so just having that interaction with somebody else is very important.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely very valuable.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Well, that's very helpful, because I think that essentially by, yeah, the description that you just kind of gave of the process and everything, like I said, the reason I was asking is because I was thinking, for somebody that may be new to needing this service, and it may happen suddenly for a lot of people, right? That,
Mhm.
essentially one day you're okay, and then, maybe somebody has a stroke, and then, from that point forward, maybe a person does need this kind of assistance, right? So it
Right.
can quite literally be, maybe an overnight need that comes up. So
Exactly.
that's kind of what the information that I was kind of curious to have from you, because a person could go and read something, you could read something out of a pamphlet, or you could read something on the internet, and that's fine. But, having you actually describe it as, a person that, you're very well qualified and well experienced, and you've been doing this, for a long time, and you know how this works. I thought that it would be very valuable to have your actual kind of description of
Yeah.
it. So thank you for that. I really appreciate
Oh,
it.
absolutely. Taking the fear out of it is the biggest thing. I mean, this is the most sacred, and you're at the most vulnerable point in your life. A stranger coming in and giving you a bath. That's really huge. And
Yeah.
so having this little interview, people know what to expect, is really, really important, and it helps to take away the fear and the anxiety. And like I said, having that initial visit with the family makes a huge difference as well. It takes a lot of the fear out of having someone come in and do this service with them.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting actually because there's kind of two things that are uh, there's two reasons why a person may be feeling vulnerable. As you said, it may be a time in a person's life, if a person is kind of, fairly elderly and they may feel, not quite as, resilient as they used to. But in addition to that, even for somebody that say was a young person that had suffered some kind of, let's say a motor vehicle collision or something, and let's say that they couldn't, care for themselves or wash
Right.
themselves. It's not about the age. It's about the fact that, personal care of this nature is, a pretty kind of, private and sacred kind of thing. And that,
Right.
aren't we all kind of at our most, vulnerable for kind of in the shower almost, right? If somebody knocks on the door or the phone rings or something, you're not, fully clothed and ready to answer the door or answer the phone call. It's,
That's
we're
right.
not kind of at our strongest in that situation. So it's kind of two things, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it? In a lot of ways.
Yeah, it is. Vulnerability. We hate to be vulnerable, don't we? Um, and being able to relate, and that's the second part of it. Is I have to relate to each person that I'm coming into, no matter what age they are. I have to relate to them. So with someone who has a disability, say dementia, and this is a real skill that I've developed, that I have to go into their world. I have to go and find them so that I can do the job. And
Hmm.
that has taken me years of developing that skill. But I have to go to them first, find them, find out where they are emotionally, and then pull them out and get them to have that shower. And it's the same with anybody else. I have to go into their world and find out where they are emotionally, physically, if they're in pain from their trauma or their surgery or whatever. I've got to go to them, find them, and be able to make that connection with them wherever they are in order to get the shower done or the bathing
Hmm.
done in whatever form that takes. So it's
Yeah.
really going into their world.
Yeah.
It's not about me, it's about them. So going into their world is the best way that I can describe it.
Well, and I can understand that. I feel a certain level of privilege when I speak with people, and they're,
Right.
they're willing to speak with me and tell me, tell me things about their lives, tell me
Right.
personal things, private things, things of a sensitive nature,
Right.
as part of my work. So
Mhm.
I feel that privilege, and I almost kind of understand what you mean as far as going into their world. I understand that you mean it, differently with
Yes.
somebody that is not maybe seen reality the way that the rest of us are. But I think I can appreciate, because do you probably feel a certain level of privilege with your clients?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. It is a privilege, and it is a great privilege to be able to go and help somebody. I mean, because they are trusting you. They are trusting you. That's it. I mean, they're putting all of their trust into you. I have to be so respectful of that and honor the fact that they are being so trusting. And I that's just how it is. Yes, I'm very honored. I'm very honored and privileged.
That's how I feel too, and that's a really
Yeah,
wonderful thing.
yeah.
How can people contact you if they needed your help?
Oh, you can contact me at 250-516-2351. Or you can also email me at waterdown@shaw.ca. And you can also reach me through Seniors 101. I have a website operated through them. And Seniors 101 is services that are available for folks in Greater Victoria, all things seniors. And so I have a website there.
That's great. And if anybody's watching this that isn't in the Greater Victoria area, can they still contact you, or do you know if is there kind of a more is there a bigger organization that they could contact, or what do you think? I guess I'm just wondering what somebody may want to do if they're not in our community in Victoria.
Oh, absolutely. I have Sure, absolutely. I have lots of families that have contacted me that do not live in the area, and just give me a phone call, and or you can email me, and we can go from there.
Oh, that's
Absolutely.
great.
Yeah, no
That's great.
problem at all.
That's great. And okay, so it's a slightly different, a bit of a subject change. You and I were talking recently about the way that you spent some time when the pandemic kind of hit,
Right.
and but you were also kind of describing to me about kind of what it meant to your business. So how could you, yeah, please tell me kind of when COVID started. You mentioned it a bit at the beginning that
Yeah.
essentially because of the pandemic and because people didn't know there was a lot of confusion for a lot of us about a lot of things.
Right.
But for you, because your business is to go into people's homes and be, as close to a person as you can basically get.
Mhm.
It Please, like, tell me what that meant for your business, and how that was kind of affecting you.
Yeah, that was affecting me big time, and I know it was affecting my clients a lot too. That they couldn't have that, that visit from me once a week or twice a week or sometimes three times a week. My clients would call. Yeah, it was really really hard. As at the beginning, we didn't know anything about it, and so the service pretty much came to a stop. There were a few people that I was able to still see, but a lot of the families just canceled service because a lot of them are living with their families. And so, I'd be home by noon, and I was getting, you know, I thought, oh, this isn't going to be too long. It'll be okay. And then it has carried on. And so I started getting really stressed out, really anxious, as everybody was,
Hmm.
how am I going to take care of myself, and, all of those things. And so I decided, I'm a kayaker, and fortunately, I live very near the water, and so I decided, okay, let's just. My anxiety levels were getting high, and my favorite happy place is in the water. So I would get in my kayak and start kayaking, and just go and release that, and feel stress free out there, and I really had to think deep and hard. And, I said, and I just sat in my kayak, and I really literally just talked to God and said, I'm really anxious, and I really just don't know what to do. I'm really concerned. I'm nervous. I'm anxious, and I'm just going to surrender to you. I'm just going to surrender. And so that's what I did. I just surrendered it to God. I just kind of laid it out there. And so, I continued to paddle. And one particular day, instead of paddling out in the middle of the water, as I usually do, I decided to go along the shoreline, really close to the shoreline. And I was amazed at how much garbage I was seeing in the water. Like, I was just amazed. I was blown away. And so while I'm sitting in my kayak and I'm kayaking and I'm close to shore, I would just start reaching down and picking up the garbage and picking up the bottles. And within 2 hours, my boat was full. The first day, boat was full. And I was just like blown away. So every day that I wasn't working, which was day after week, I'd be home so early. I began to do it every day as a way of just dealing with it. And then the most beautiful thing happened. I fell in love with it. I absolutely fell in love with cleaning up the water's edge and the shoreline. I absolutely fell in love with it. And as the time went on, the tide would be at different levels. So I'd be able to get out further in my kayak and reach down and pick up more garbage. So it became a passion. So the most beautiful part about it is because I surrendered it and let it go. This is for me. God was able to give me the opportunity to be of service in another way, and to have as much love for cleaning up the garbage as I do for my clients. And it has been a transformative experience in my life. And I continue to do it to this day because I absolutely love it. I'm passionate about it. So, it gave me a greater understanding and love and respect for not only the environment, but respect for myself, to be able to just let go and let God and allow the opportunities at hand to fill me with love, and to be able to just do something completely different. Instead of cleaning folks, I'm cleaning the shore.
And that the way that you ended it, it's a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh yeah.
The thing that one of the things that I think is the greatest thing about your story is that it's such a wonderful way to essentially make the best of a bad situation, make lemonade out of lemons. COVID posed a huge challenge for you because for a lot of people, and COVID affected everybody differently,
Absolutely.
certainly. But for a lot of people, COVID meant going, instead of working at their office, maybe working at home, which is
Right.
fine. And a lot of people, I know some people who personally enjoyed that.
Yes.
And so for some people it was good, for some people it was bad. For you, it was, nearly, potentially catastrophic because your business is so, yeah, as I said, your business is so personal that you're meeting
Right.
with people and seeing people, particularly the populations that are potentially most at risk and most susceptible to to being harmed by COVID.
Right.
So understandably, their families didn't want you to come, not because they don't think that you're wonderful and value your services, but they didn't want you to come because that's what we were all doing. We were isolating and staying away from one another.
Right.
So for you to hop in your kayak and just do that first as a way to deal with being anxious and maybe who knows the feelings, right? You could have even been frustrated, you could have been anxious, could have been scared, all of these potentially negative feelings, and then to start collecting the garbage from the shoreline and cleaning it up and then finding a passion in that. It's such a beautiful story. And I don't remember if you mentioned exactly, but what kinds of things did you find? You found quite a bit of different types of things when you were collecting. Were you not? Did you not?
did. I found a lot of old bottles, Sean. A lot of old bottles. I've got some from 1931. Some old wine bottles and liqueur bottles, and that was the icing on the cake. That was kind of like the perk I got for cleaning up the garbage, was actually finding these little gems in the water. Back in the day, before there was a garbage dump, things were taken out on a barge and dumped off. And things just come into the shoreline. Eventually they have to come back. And back in the day, in the 1800s, people just threw their stuff into the gorge and just threw it into the water. And so it sat and got full of mud and just sat and sat. And Tina comes along in her kayak and starts cleaning up the garbage. And what is this? Able to reach down and pick that up in my kayak and find a beautiful etched bottle from the late 1880s. It's like, yeah. Thank you. This is great. And there's something else I got. I found that I really enjoy looking, collecting old bottles. And there's something else, another passion that I no way ever thought I'd ever have, but it's great fun. And all because I just surrendered myself and let whatever happen is going to happen, and just took me in a completely different direction so that I could get over that fear and anxiety of what I was not doing, and was able to gain this strength and this desire to do something else and be passionate about it. Well, all things happen as they should in this area of my life. Find something different, create, and eventually, my business was able to come back. As we learned more, we got our, inoculations, and things have worked out well.
Yes. Well, That is wonderful. That's, as I said, it's a wonderful story. You have a wonderful service. You're you're a wonderful person.
Oh, thank you, John.
If I may that's if I may say, I think.
Thank you, John.
So yeah, I think given that, we've got a great description of your business, what you do, who you are, what your experience is, the story. Of what you did, at the start of COVID, and how you were able to get through it, and the new passion that you were able to find. It just, it speaks for itself in so many ways. So is there anything else that you wanted to say before we kind of wrap it up for the day?
I would just like to say, I love what I do, and if you're interested in the service, give me a call. If not, give me a call anyways. Anyways, I think, just, I don't know what else to say. Just that, thank you for the opportunity to let you know who I am and what I do. It is a privilege to serve my community. I'm very grateful to do it. And I don't take it for granted. We're each individuals, and we all deserve the respect.
Well, the world needs more people like you, Tina.
Oh, we all need to be respected, because we're all in this together. We're doing the best we can. And if I can help you do the best you can, great.
Well, that's great. That's perfect. Well, thank you very much, Tina. I really appreciate you being a guest today.
Thank you very much for having me, Sean.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.